Alright, we have the pickup template bolted down or screwed down to the guitar. We're ready to route the pickup cavities. And now I've taken a 1/2 inch Forstner bit and hollowed out these cavities a bit. But as you will see later on in this video, I didn't take enough material out. And if you listen to the sound of the router, you'll hear that it's actually straining a bit because I'm pushing it beyond its ability, or more specifically beyond the ability of the bit that I'm using. I have to be fair, these bits are probably 10 years old, so it should have been replaced a long time ago. But you're going to see in this video what can happen when you push a tool beyond what it's intended to be used for. What I should have done was hog out more material or take much lighter cuts. And I normally would do that, but these are single coil pickup cavities and they're very narrow. And I literally could not see inside the cavity. The way this works, the bearing has a the bit has a bearing on it, and it rides on the side of the template. The cutouts that are the shape that I want to route into the body. And what I should have done is just take small, shallow cuts, but I couldn't because the bit was too long. I should have had a 1/2 inch long bit instead of a 1 inch long bit. And so I put it on down in there as far as I had to in order to use the bearing on the sides of the template cutouts, and for that reason I was taking much bigger of a bite than I should have. And the bit fails. Thank goodness it failed and did not cause any injury. But you have to remember that these are going at several thousand RPMs. This tool right here is one of the most dangerous and potentially deadly tools that you will ever use in woodworking. So what I'll have to do from now on is now you see that piece that fell off? Well, it vibrated loose. That should have been a clue to me that I was pushing the router so much that pieces were vibrating off of it. Okay, but no, dummy me. I kept right on with it. If you look at the intro video to my channel, I state that I'm not a professional and that I sometimes do unsafe things, that I'm not demonstrating proper technique. Now you see there? Now that bit came completely apart. The bearing came apart. And it's hot as all get. You see the bearing there at the bottom. It should be on the other end of that bit. It's just, and what happened was it failed and it came out of the router and dug that hole at the neck deeper than what I wanted it to. Now I'm flipping it over to check and make sure I didn't route all the way through. Which I could have done. But worse than that could have come loose and flew out, hit me in the eye, the throat, there could have been all kind of ugly things that could have happened. So understand that you should take small, tiny bites with a router. And I have learned my lesson. I will be going and getting a shorter bit for this process. And the next, which will be, the next time I use this router will be probably to route the neck pocket. And so I'll be purchasing a brand new 1/2 inch long bit for this purpose, for that purpose. So now what I did is I went back and I cleaned up that pickup cavity. And you see me checking the depth of these cavities. And now I'm going to bring these to final depth. A little bit at a time. Always let the router stop before you pull it up out of there. That way you don't damage your template and ruin the job. But this illustrates the necessity of safety equipment. I have safety glasses on, and anytime I mess with this, I unplug it and plug it back up when I'm ready to go again. I much prefer using hand tools, but for an electric guitar, doing something like this, a router is the way to go. And I know a lot of guys would use a router table. I might at some point. Now I'm checking the depth of that neck pocket because I know it's deeper than it should be. And it's about 1.25 inches deep. So I have 1/2 inch to spare, so that should be okay. Right around 1/2 inch anyway. I'm checking the fit of the pickups now. And that neck pocket being a little bit deeper, that neck pickup route channel might not be a big deal. It might actually be a good thing, because usually the loudest pickup on a 3 single coil guitar is that neck pickup. So they usually graduate in height to get the proper volume across all the pickups, from the neck pickup as the lowest to the bridge pickup being the highest, in order to maintain proper distance from the strings to get the right volume. And now I'm checking to make sure that everything is centered properly. And I'm just using a ruler and looking, setting it at the center line of the body and seeing how far from that center line each side is. And it looks good to me. But we will see. I still have to correctly route the neck pocket straight. And there's the finished product ready to go. I think that's going to look fantastic. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.